Now, which are the sources from which they take their loans? For this, we must go deep into it, and actually there are non-institutional and institutional sources in India which lend loans to rural India. The non-institutional sources are the relatives, the money lenders, friends and so on, who give loans to people. In the first 5-year plan, it was noticed that 93% of the total loan which was taken, or the credit which was taken, was from the non-institutional sources. But slowly the picture has improved, and the institutional sources are of course those sources which are the banks, the cooperative societies, the SHG groups and so on. Now, the biggest drawback in the institutional sources is that when it was defined in the 5-year plan, the first one, it was seen that only 7% of the people took credit or loan from the institutional sources. It is because of the problem of collateral. That is, they do not have anything to keep as guarantee, as collateral to take loan from the institutional sources in India. Of course, the work of RBI, which I will discuss in the next clipping, is an important and very interesting topic dealing with the institutional sources in India. When we are talking of the rural credit in India, we need to discuss about the apex body in India of the banking, and that is the Reserve Bank of India. Reserve Bank of India is that body which regulates all the finances in India, and it is this body which is responsible for the expansion plan and also for the guidance, meaning to say how many more bank branches have to be opened where and when, and guidance on the policy as to how loan is to be given, whom it has to be given and how it has to be recovered. So, RBI deals in all aspects of finance in India. But there is another institution which is also very, very important as far as rural credit is concerned, and that is the self-help groups. The self-help groups in India is that group which comprises of 15 to 20 close-knit members who have small savings and who are responsible for giving credit to their own members at a very moderate rate of interest. The best thing about these self-help groups is that no collateral is to be given because the people know each other very well. So, the self-help group in India have actually emerged as the strongest pivot in the financing of the credit in the rural areas. Now, the positive aspect of people taking credit from the institutional sources is that the Mahajans and the money lenders who used to give credit at very high rate of interest, now this trend has slowly declined. And the people used to fall in debt trap, but now they can take loans from the institutional sources, which means that the rate of interest that they have to pay is very moderate. But there is a negative or the flip side also to the story, and that is, in order to gain popularity, certain politicians have started with lenient recovery of loans in the rural areas. This lenient recovery of loans in the rural areas is not at all good for the health of the economy of the country. If we take loan, we must repay it. But this is how and this is what is happening in the rural credits in India. Of course, certain farmers are still facing certain problems, like we hear of so many farmer deaths in Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, wherein the farmers die because, that is, they commit suicide because of the low incomes that they have.